Today we're taking a look at the SecuRam system's mechanical reset method. And what we're doing here is all of our locks operate in two different modes. One is digital mode. Digital mode allows you to work with our Pro Logic keypads and our Scan Logic keypads, those keypads with fingerprints. These locks can also operate in analog mode. Analog mode is what's required to work with our Safe Logic Basic and Backlit series. So any of the Safe Logics without an LCD, without a fingerprint scanner, must operate with an analog lock. So we're going to show you how to convert. Every single one of our locks can be operated in both modes, either mode. So we're going to show you how to convert from one to another. So currently this is in digital mode. So my default code of 123456 with a digital keypad can operate this lock. But what if I wanted to remove this entry pad and replace it with our Safe Logic series entry pad? Here's how I would do that. First of all, I disconnect the existing entry pad, and I would want to connect it with this new Safe Logic entry pad. What happens in this case is oftentimes people will do this and they'll think that they have a defective product. So let's assume that we're going to disconnect this now, and I'll show you what happens. This is a lock that's in digital mode because it was previously connected to a Pro Logic keypad. This is a Safe Logic keypad, which is in analog mode. It has to have an analog lock to go with it. So this happens fairly often where people connect a digital lock to an analog keypad and they'll try to enter the codes and no buttons are working and they're thinking, hey, this is defective, no lights, no buttons, no beeps. So what all that means is it's not defective. What's actually happening is the lock is not in the correct mode. So we can simply convert it to the correct mode by doing this. First of all, we disconnect the lock. We now use a paperclip. This paperclip is used in order to depress the reset hole, the reset button on the back of the lock. And I'll just show you where that is. There is a word embossed on the back of this lock that says reset, and directly below it there is a hole, and that hole allows you access to the reset button on the circuit board. Usually there's a round QC sticker over top of this. Just remove the sticker and you can gain access to that reset button. So now we depress that button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and all we're doing there is removing any latent energy that's left in the capacitors inside the lock. So we want it with no power. So now we do this. We hold the reset button down and we connect the cable to the lock. And we continue to hold until we hear those beeps. Once the beeps happen, that's our indication that the lock is now in analog mode. And if you enter our default codes, you can see the lock opens. So previously we had a lock that was in digital mode connected to an analog keypad, and it would show no signs of operation. It looked as though it was a dead keypad, when in fact it was just in the wrong mode. So we switched it over to analog mode, and now the locks work. In switching it to analog mode, we do a couple of things. We not only switch it from digital to analog, but it also resets the codes inside the lock back to factory default. So my codes are 111111, so 6 ones, opens the locks, that's our super code. And then our standard user code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that process, called the simple mechanical reset, resets the lock back to factory default codes and also converts from analog mode to digital mode or digital mode to analog mode, depending on what type of keypad you're pairing with it. So that's how to convert from analog to digital mode or digital to analog mode. SecuRam systems, very versatile, quality locks.